Dad? He's heard that I'm to stand against him in the works ballot. I can tell.
You could still withdraw.
No. No, I'm damned if I will.
Look at that place. Oh, hi. I'm having it. Thanks for telling me about it.
You're welcome.
You know him?
Seen him around.
Chap that told me about the cottage.
Not local.
He had to be born. He had to be local so far as I can gather. I've seen him somewhere before.
Drives the work sweeper, don't he?
Away from here, I mean. Oh, well. Come on. I start on the driving in 3 days' time.
Bed and breakfast.
I thought you were stopping down there till Friday.
He came back early off his holiday. Oh. He often does that, gets bored. I don't know why he bothers going. I could have stopped on, but it's a quiet sort of place for a holiday if you don't like fishing. Oh, I didn't know you came for the beer. Thought I was the attraction. No better now, don't I?
No, we've had good measures whilst you've been away, else we complain. Don't open those mouths when it's you got to deal with.
Keep you in order, do I? How did your grandson fare?
Oh, they found him yesterday, bringing him back sometime tonight. Sarah said something about him having got a young woman, if I made her out right on the phone. 16's a very young age to be taking that side of life that seriously.
That's when you're part way in or part way out, you do take it seriously. What was that song in the war? You're either too young or too old.
Aye, you're either too... Oh, here's him they wrote it for. And that was 40 years since.
Coming in your muck tonight, has he?
I can go out again.
He's not kidding either.
I'm a bit out of sorts tonight.
Ah, well, I've got to go. Jess will cheer you up.
In later on?
Oh, I don't know. They don't like you coming in near closing. There's no time to spend.
I'm sure that'll keep you out.
Well, not now you're back, it won't.
Hark to Bounty. I'll have to get unpacked before they start coming in. But I'll pull you a pint before I go. You know, you want to take a leaf out of his book. He's not letting it get him down.
He's not had his nose put out of joint by his own flesh and blood, has he? Our Les is standing against me at works.
I thought you half expected it.
He's enough on his plate with the council, apart from other considerations. By standing against me, he's saying he's thinking that I'm wrong in the job.
Oh, he'll never get voted in against you.
That's not the point, though, is it, Jess?
No, maybe not. You're wrong about Henry, you know. He's got something similar on his mind. Thinks his lads are working to get him out.
They'd not make a move like that. So close on their mother dying.
Oh, wouldn't they? You know, I used to think I knew about people. These last few years have taught me I know nothing.
You, is it?
Where were you?
Well, I was out back. I was mixing a pudding.
The door was locked.
Yeah, well, it sticks sometimes.
So does my left leg. You've been up those bloody ladders again, haven't you?
Wait, will you?
Don't do that.
Well, don't show your mouth.
I'm not a 5-year-old.
No more am I.
You'll come a right cropper one of these days.
Ah, well, heaven's waiting for me. They'll wash your mouth out with brimstone where you were going.
I don't want you in heaven. I want you on earth.
Deny me my rest, would you?
I don't believe in heaven.
Oh, well, I can't blame you. If you believe in heaven, you've got to believe in t'other place. There's two sides to a penny.
Oh, I see. You think I've been wicked then, do you?
Nay, you'll have to have your mouth washed out before you're fitted for heaven.
No. Promise me you'll have done with these ladders before they do for you. There's plenty folks you can ask if you want a bit of a job, do you?
Look, I've got to fend for myself as long as I'm able.
I know, but... come, no ladders. No. Promise.
Aye, go on, then.
On the Bible oath.
Oh, I promise nothing on the book.
Well, as God's your witness.
No, well, God's got enough on his mind without my promises.
Then I'll burn the bloody things. Don't do that.
Then be as I taught you.
Well, it's a habit, that's all.
Don't you fear God?
It's a habit I try to stop when I'm with you. I know it offends you, but it's not fear of God. It's fear of losing you that forces it out of me.
Ah, well, I've served my purpose on this earth. Tied to your mother's apron string still. A man like you who has power over other folks' lives that others lean on.
Well, then who am I to lean on, then?
Well, I shall be here forever. Though it seems life won't leave hold of me. God's the one who's here forever, and you don't seem to have no use for him. I'd have liked to have left you with God, but I can see it's no use arguing.
Yeah, well, I'm too late for God.
That's your own flesh and blood.
Oh, I mean nothing to them, not that you mean to me. I've paved their lives, not shared them. Ross cleared out on me rather than live through us differences. I stand in Max's way. I might as well lean on a beanstalk as hope to lean on our Dot. Only their mother's passing brought us close for a bit, and that's fast fading.
Well, it could be they care more than you think.
I've seen no sign of it. I feel closer to young Guy than them that I bred.
There's your salvation, then.
Salvation? No, he wants nothing to do with life as I've known it. He sees nothing to work, except as a means to live.
I thought you said you felt closer to him.
I do. It's because when he's telling me these things, I feel he's asking, not telling.
Well, answer him, then.
I don't know the bloody answers. Given me up as a lost cause, have you?
I've not seen you in it before. It is nice, isn't it? It suits you. Do you think so? Really? Mrs. Max has one, something similar. I don't think it's her style. I bought it at the same place this morning. It's the first time on. I'm glad you like it.
Angela. Oh, you're here. Good. Can you ask the garage to pick the car up from the front here? I'll leave the key at the gate.
I'll ring them now.
Have to go up to your father's house. We've not been able to get together all day. He's been tied up with Max being away.
Not notice anything new?
I told you the other day I don't like your hair like that.
You better get your cases out of the boot.
Mine?
I collected your stuff from the school this morning.
Aren't I going back then?
Let me talk about that later.
We'll get them all back, but Rastrix, they're going up at day. On security of supply, they say, so they've gone to Universal. They'll be back when Universal have their next strike.
They're our biggest client. It's going to reduce the take from the plant till we do get them back.
Or until we get another customer of the same size order.
Oh, somebody in mind?
I might have. I'm working on it.
Well, there'll have to be layoffs with the take reduced to this extent.
Ah, a bit of luck, but it'll be only temporary, so why bother at this stage?
Well, Max thinks we're overmanned. As it is, he'll see it as a chance to rationalise the workforce.
Look, I've had this argument with Max before. The manning's enough to cope with less than the maximum take from the plant. Now, you don't call that over-manning, do you? You can't hire and fire from day to day to the extent that he'd want to do. What sort of cooperation would we get from the unions in that case? They'd have no option but to go against us, and I can't see I'd ought to get the blame. No, that argument's closed. I've ruled on it. Have you done anything about that chap that drives the sweeper yet, by the way?
What, Rancott?
Is that his name? Yes, he's a danger to his pals. I've decided we better get rid.
Well, I'd like to have a word with Max first. I think it was Max who took him on. If it's all right with you, of course.
Oh, yeah, you have a word. Then get rid.
Dad, I've made you coffee.
What about it?
You're drinking whiskey.
Aye, seems a pity to pollute good scotch. Oh, I will drink it now you've made it. Been gone a long time. What have you been doing out in that kitchen? Checking up on Annie?
The job's too much for her at her age. Why don't you get somebody younger?
Because she suits me. She comes at the hours I want. She keeps out of my way, and I keep out of hers.
Well, it won't hurt to tidy the cupboards out anyway.
Well, don't go chucking things out. She'll blame me for it. Great on chucking things out, our woman. She'd do it at home.
Well, I found a cheque for 20 quid in the dustbin once.
They wouldn't if they had to make it.
Why did he leave his cases out there?
I think he's gone to the bathroom.
Guy! Come down here, will you?
You're not going to get heavy about that, sure.
It's symptomatic.
Symptomatic of what?
Oh, bloody awful business. Self-indulgence, if you like. This girl he's involved with.
Shh, he's coming down.
Dad?
Why have you left your cases out there? Take them upstairs.
I was going to.
I'm going for a walk before the light fails. Anything you want?
No, thanks.
If you go on like this, you'll lose him.
The girl's going to Canada in a week's time, isn't she? Out of sight, out of mind.
I wouldn't count on that.
These things don't survive. They're a fantasy, an illusion.
Sometimes they are, yes.
Well, then.
Sometimes there's something else. Something you must have forgotten, assuming you ever felt it at his age. And rare, oh, rare in this house, my God. Love, Max.
Oh, it's been and it's gone.
He left this in bar. I better hang on to it. He might be in tonight.
Goes in there a lot these days, does he?
Well, same amount as me.
If pub door led to the gates of heaven, you'd all be saved. What's his intention?
Intention? I don't follow you, Mabel.
His intention in going in there. What is it?
Oh, same as mine, I suppose. To sup ale.
You know what I mean. There was talk at one time about him and that Jessie Armstrong.
Well, you know what they're like round here. What they don't know, they invent. I know nothing more than when you asked me last time.
And if you did, you wouldn't tell me. He doesn't know what to do with himself since she died.
I know. I've trod the same path.
Where did you turn for comfort?
There's none. There's only time.
You look for it, though.
Oh, aye, you look for it. Oh, I know what's going through his mind. He's thinking he's run out of living before he's run out of life. But his lads, he's a family.
How have they got their own way? Is a feeling they're turning from him.
Ah, Jessie was telling me.
Confides in her, does he?
You're a damned old tattletale, Mabel. You're as bad as the rest.
I'll never cope with this.
I'll do it for you.
Have your own.
Lost interest in my own. It's all done. Doesn't need me anymore.
Coming in?
No, I think perhaps not.
As you wish.
Just I'm not very good company, that's all I mean. Besides, I'm sober. You're not used to that, are you?
I was thinking it suited you.
Were you?
There's a chill in the air. You can feel night coming on.
Yes.
It'll be warmer in there. That's all I meant.
All right. All right, then. When are you moving in?
Tomorrow. Wait to get one of the other digs.
You're at the Turners, you said.
They're nice people. I just don't like having water in their house.
Will your wife come here eventually?
No, that's all over. I wasn't shooting the misunderstood husband line when we came here last, when I met you at the...
Your daughter?
Not a chance. My wife has custody.
Oh, yes, of course you said. She'd rather be with you, wouldn't she, the girl? That seems awful unfair.
Life's unfair.
You're a communist, aren't you?
I'm a Marxist. Of sorts. There are 57 varieties these days. We're in what Casey called the terrible state of chassis.
I know nothing about politics.
And you've no wish to learn, to be involved.
I'm wide open to involvement in anything that'll give some sort of dimension to my life. Oh, but don't let me bore you with that. I'm a terrible drag on the subject.
You don't bore me.
Only because I'm a woman. I'm not very good at that bit of it either. It's not what I wanted from my life. Frustrated middle-class housewife, conventionally unfaithful, guilt-ridden. No point or purpose in my life. I'm so terribly unhappy with it all. Not just Max's failings, mine too. You'll hate it when I say I regret the other day, but I do.
I've travelled the same road, too. I'm a man and it's different, maybe. But I don't enjoy the kind of physical hunger that sometimes obsesses you when you're used to sharing your flesh, your blood, the capacity to care with someone whose pain you share. I mean, that's what it really is, isn't it? The capacity to feel someone else's pain.
No, please.
Sorry, wasn't meant to lead to anything, but of course in the end it does, doesn't it?
It's just I'm all at odds with myself, wanting, resenting the want. I don't even know how to explain it properly.
What do you think you have to with me? Don't you see? I'm a victim too.
What did Ross come for?
He picked me up from school and he wants to take me out to eat.
I see.
Is that all then?
Well, what?
Satisfied, no further questions. Like, have we fixed a date for the wedding yet? Don't take off from your chair. I was joking. I know you're dying to get rid of me. But marriage isn't even on the agenda yet.
It was your generation started fear of marriage.
It's about time somebody did. Yours took it far too lightly.
You what?
Marriage. You took it too lightly. You never questioned it as an institution. You took it to be a natural state. Huh.
Well, younger men today agree with us, then, it seems. They're getting married by the dozen at 16, 17 years of age down in the village.
And divorced by the dozen 4 or 5 years later, too.
No. Oh, I'm not too keen on it myself at that age.
Where's McKellar?
Isn't he in his room?
How should I know?
Have you asked him when he's moving yet?
I haven't seen him since he went to the agents.
I feel like whispering all the time. I could crown our list for asking us to take him in. I like privacy of my own home.
That's why you want to get rid of me, is it?
Oh, shut up. He's a decent enough lad. But I'd take no more lessons on socialism from him. I've been practising for the best part of 50 years. I don't need any lessons from him as to my state of grace.
Too far to the left for you, is he?
He's off the bloody road, isn't my contention. Too far to the left. I don't care how far a man is to the left as long as he stays on the road.
Now the good old road to socialism. The road without an end, a wide road and a clear road. But with tempting little diversions along the way, in case you get bored with the sameness of it all.
I'm used to your reactionary twaddle. It's a good job the yon's going. Place wouldn't be worth living in with you two at it.
You don't think that politics and gracious living are compatible, then?
Oh. Had it in mind, had you?
What?
Taken a shine to him, have you?
Oh, for God's sake.
Poor old Ross, thinking he's back in favour.
I'm going to crown you in a minute if you don't shut up.
I'll never get rid of you, will I? Not in 1,000 years.
In half an hour. The usual place. No, I've been away. Yes, all right then.
Yes? Dad been in?
Was in straight from work. Bit out of sorts tonight, he said.
Tell you why?
Well, yes, he did, as a matter of fact.
I can't stand back for him all my life.
Did you tell him before you put your name up?
Nope. Been all the same if I had.
Oh, you men and your politics. It's his life, you know that, don't you?
Always was.
More so after your mother died. It leaves a big empty place. What was it they used to tell us at school? Nature abhors a vacuum.
Thought he was going to wed again one time.
Who?
You?
Well, the idea might have crossed his mind. I don't think he said anything. He didn't have to. It happens all the time. Widowers sitting where you're sitting there now. Gives them something to think about. Gives me a role in life.
Sarah's told you about Guy, I suppose?
Yes, thorny situation.
Yeah. Let's not talk about it. I know what an old sentimentalist you are.
I am.
You'll see it entirely from Guy's point of view. Anyway, we've other equally thorny things to talk about, haven't we? What happened at the board meeting? Summers rang you, of course.
The board ratified the scheme. You didn't expect anything else, did you?
No, but I did wonder.
About what?
That Dad hadn't got wind of it.
He had. Well, in the sense that he knows something's brewing. I think that's why he went off fishing, to get the hell away from it.
It's not like him.
I've known him turn his back on customers in the old days. Tell them to stuff their business if there's something underhand about it. I'd say it was very like him.
You think you know him better than I do you?
Oh, God, Max, let's not get onto that old bogey.
I suppose you've told him.
No. You said you wanted to be there when he was told. I've respected that. I've told him as much.
What did you say?
He took it remarkably quietly.
Do you think he'll fight it?
I don't see how he can. He could turn down the other job, of course. That'd worry Bill Summers. Not just the possibility of not having Dad's local influence to smooth the passage of the new works, but the chance that he might actually be in opposition.
Why should he oppose it?
Environmental grounds. You know how he feels about the valley. He's lived here all his life.
Oh, he's fought against the environmental people in the past.
Not on big issues like this. I've doubts about it myself. It's going to change the whole character of the place.
You'll go along with it, though.
I know it'll come to pass. National need demands it. What national need wants, it gets.
And why do you think he might fight it?
different generation from ours. More guts, I suspect. They're prepared to fight in the open. They don't enjoy the infighting that goes with a rat race like we do. Like some of us do.
I'd like to tell him on my own.
It's my job, really, you know.
Even so, I'd like to. I'm the one who's replacing him. I'm the one he's most likely to kick. You probably won't understand this, but I'd like to make it easy for him.
To kick you?
Even that, if he feels the need. I've wanted him to go for some time now. You know it, he knows it. It doesn't mean I don't care how he feels.
Mind if I watch the telly?
You better ask your uncle. I'm going out. All right?
Yes, I suppose so. Tell him I'll be home in a couple of hours.
Thanks.
He's not got over Mum yet, for all he pretends to cope. You know that, don't you?
What do you take me for, Ross?
Where's he going?
Your grandfather's.
Oh. Something to do with me?
No, it's a work thing.
They've told you, I suppose, about me.
Yes.
Dad's trying to keep his cool. I think he'd like to hit me over the head, really. I don't fit the pattern.
What pattern?
The pattern of his life that we're all supposed to fit into. He's caught in the trap.
What trap might that be?
The trap that most of your generation are caught in. You're more interested in work than you are in living. You live to work.
That's only partly true, you know.
You mean it's an easy generalization?
I mean it's something that's happened to us rather than something we chose.
I think I'll go upstairs and write a letter.
I don't mind the telly if you want it, you know.
No, thanks. Better get this other thing done.
Not too late to bed tonight, young man.
But he moves in tomorrow, the agent says. You say he's there tonight? Alone?
With a woman.
Oh, bit of a Casanova, is he? Anything of interest?
Not much.
Oh, it's not a bad start, though. You've got him in there, the equipment's working. I came to the right firm, it seems. You said you'd seen him before on Clydeside. He wouldn't be likely to recognize you, would he?
I doubt it.
Well, when he settles in, we can look forward to some results. I won't want to plow through all those damn tapes. I'll leave it to you to condense the relevant stuff into some form of report.
And the bloke who spoke to me in the works?
Neil Kemp? Well, I don't want to take Neil into my confidence. I'll probably forget all about it anyway. But if you do have problems, let me know. What a marvelous evening it is.
You've gone against me all your bloody life. Why? What did I do that offended you, eh?
I've not gone against you. I've stood back. Stood back in your shadow. Jim Turner's lad. Not me, myself. Not that you'd know me if you fell over me.
Know you? I've known you all your years, and not a bloody thing I don't know about you. Except what you think. You managed to keep that from me, haven't you?
If I don't stand against you for Union Branch Secretary, somebody else will.
Reg Brooks, same as ever, you mean?
No, I don't mean Reg Brooks. An incomer, maybe, but they'll vote for him. They're in the mood for a change.
A change, eh? Well, there are two kinds of changes. A change for the worse and a change for the better. Which kind do they want, eh? You seem to set yourself up as spokesman for them, so which kind do they want, eh?
You're forcing me to say a change for the better, aren't you?
There's no such thing as a change for the sake of a change. Not in the end, there isn't.
I don't understand you, Dad. I mean, you've always griped about the job. Said it's a dog's life. Well, let somebody else do it then, eh?
You think you're up to it, do you?
Oh, I thought that'd come out sooner or later. I know what you think of my capabilities.
I'd take the same line with anybody else.
Think there's nobody up to it but you, do you?
There's nothing to do with capabilities, mine or nobody else's. It's the wrong time, that's the long and short of it. It's the wrong time for a change in the job. There's other changes happening every bloody day. Things are changing that fast that nobody can keep up with them.
Nobody but you, eh?
There's one thing that stands to my favour in this point of time as I see it. It's not that I can claim much credit for. It's come from the fact that my generation has lived through more changes than any before or any that come after, as likely as not. You can call it experience, if you like. It's taught me one thing I see lacking in you. It's taught me when to put the bloody brakes on.
Reaction.
Aye. Aye, you can call it that if you want. It's what a motorist does when he turns the corner and finds the road's blocked. He doesn't start to think whose fault it is it's blocked. He puts the bloody brakes on. Because if he doesn't, it's disaster. You know how close we stand to disaster these days, do you?
It's a war, Dad. You fought it and lost. Now let somebody else fight it, eh?
We lost, did we? My generation. We fought the good fight and we lost, That's the conclusion you've come to, is it?
Well, it's still the same old lot in power as always were.
Aye. I dare say they say that in Russia and all, them that dare open their mouths. You say nowt's different, then? Nowt's been achieved. When was your belly ever empty like mine when I was a bairn? When did you ever have no backside to your breeches? There were lads over hill yonder when I was a lad that used to run through the streets barefooted, women passing clothes to get pit muck out till their arms nearly fell off. We'd a working day that left us no life. So we had to turn away from each other at night, too weary to turn to each other for comfort even. But now it's changed, hasn't it? Now it's been achieved.
We could be back to all that the way things are going.
Aye. And who'd take us back? Not me, I promise you. The taste of it is still grained in me. You said I always griped about the job, called it a dog's life. You were right. I've taken no pleasure from it. I've done it because it had to be done, so that we could stand against that same old lot that you say are still in power. Well, there are others taking power now, and taking too much pleasure from it for my liking. It's a drug, is power. It gets into the system. It turns people in on themselves so they lose sight of what it's a means to. They get to thinking they're there to be served. Not to serve. And you want to be a lackey to that lot, do you?
That's right, Les.
Oh, aye, you'd think so, I know. I mean, he's on your side these days, isn't he?
He's where he always was, as I am. He's where the crowd is, where the debate is still going on. There's no debate on the sidelines. There's only the malcontents chucking bricks at each other because they've closed their minds.
It's your right to stand against me if you want. It's your right, and I'd not deny it you.
But you'll not stand down?
No. I'm damned if I will.
Go. Tell Ian I'll be at the pub when he's ready.
He's right, Hutton. Oh, to some extent, at least. It's me age. I've lost touch.
You've lost touch with him. That's all you've lost touch with.
I don't expect him to think like me just because he's my flesh and blood. I never have done. I'd not want him to do other than speak his mind. Against me, if he must.
You got what you wanted, then?
Aye. But why does it pain me so?
I thought Ross was Bill Summers' spokesman, not you.
I felt an obligation. I'm the main beneficiary.
Are you, back? God. I wouldn't know, not having heard the will read yet. And to be voted off the job, is that it, then?
No. They want you to take on something else. To work with Ross on a scheme to extend the quarrying side and eventually to extend the works.
Ah, so that's the carrot, is it? That's how they're going to entice me out of my chair for you to sit in it.
Dad, it's a genuine development. They really need you. Ross wouldn't be a party to it if it weren't straight. They want you where they need you most.
Your mother would be proud of you.
For what?
Taking the trouble to break it to me the way you have done, trying to make me believe.
Dad, it's true.
Part of it, perhaps, maybe. The rest of it is a bloody big lie from start to finish.
Oh, for God's sake, what grounds have you for believing that?
It's all double talk and lip service. Lip service, the idea that the rat race is a thing of the past and the knives have been put away. They want you in my place for a damn good reason. They want to pursue a hard line and they think I've gone soft. You think so too.
There's
now
nothing
let
wrong
me
in...
speak. Don't answer me yet. You think I've gone soft. Yes, well, put it down to age, maybe, but at the back of your brain, you don't really believe that. You know me for what I am, a man with a foot in both camps, brought up in one and bred in t'other. I've confronted the men myself in the past, but I've known what I stood against and why. In their own damned interests, as like as not.
Benevolent autocracy.
Call it what you like, it works.
Backroom diplomacy with the unions.
We don't know each other all that well, do we? You used to close up on me even as a lad.
Did I?
I'm glad you came, though. This is just between you and me. We'll talk again when it's been officially put to me, if that's all right with you.
Whatever you want, Dad.
I know you're not a man who believes in drinking and driving, but I think the Scotch is indicated.
Ross gone to Henry's?
Yes. Max went on before him. Do you know what it's about?
We're like you. We get told in due course. We're not family, you see.
I'm family.
Guy, you're not watching, are you?
No, not really.
Oh, don't switch it off for us. We're just going.
I'm not watching, really.
Have you done any paintings lately?
I did a few when I was home last.
Oh, I'd like to see them.
They're up in my room. I'll bring them down.
Oh, don't bother. I'll come with you.
Look, we ought to get back.
It won't take a moment.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. She'll be quizzing him about the girl she'll embarrass him.
I didn't think so. He likes her. They get on.
They do? Oh, I didn't know that. How odd.
Why odd?
Well, he's more like you. I wouldn't have thought they'd much in common. She had to come, of course, when she heard about the girl. All these rubbishy romantic novels she reads.
Oh, but life's like a rubbishy romantic novel sometimes, isn't it? Or isn't it?
Well, I suppose you could say we simply intellectualise the same thing, that the roots are just as tawdry. Is that what you meant?
I didn't know what I meant. I know it isn't worth the pain.
It is when it's happening to you.
Masochism.
Even masochism's a reality to a masochist.
But to a young boy.
Oh, you were thinking of Guy?
We've been tiptoeing round each other ever since we got back.
Oh, he seems to be coping.
Huh, pretending normality, you mean?
What, you mean there's something else other than the girl?
Men.
Oh, Lord, what have we done now?
Oh, that, he said when I asked him about his girlfriend. It's nothing, he said. Not an ounce of romance in them.
Oh, well, time we were off.
Not even sociable. The minute you get them somewhere you want to be, oh, well, they say, time we were off. See you soon.
Have they gone?
Yes. What did you think of your pictures?
She hardly looked at them. Just wanted to talk about Jean.
Oh, and you didn't?
No, not to her.
Early night?
Won't sleep if I do. He's got it the wrong way round, hasn't he, Dad? No fun for you either, is it?
Why do you say that?
Oh, it can't be. I thought so for a long time.
How long?
Last couple of years or so, I suppose.
Wasn't too bad before that.
What happened?
Everything's been a bit mad these last few years, hasn't it?
Since the power cuts, you mean?
Why do you say that?
Well, that's what I remember. Lights going out. And one of the masters at school telling us that the foundations of society were threatened. He meant his own foundations, I think. I felt a bit afraid, though. As if the bomb was about to drop or something, you know?
You never said anything to us.
You weren't there, were you?
Did you really hate that school so much?
Until Jean came. Oh, I don't mind talking about her to you.
I'd like to talk about her, if you want to. You've grown up, haven't you? It's happened almost without us noticing it. You being away so much.
Dad doesn't think I've grown up.
The 16 seemed much younger at his age. I mean, 21 was the age of consent in those days.
You don't agree with him about a lot of things, but you defend him. I suppose that's something to do with being married, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose it is.
It's serious, you know.
Jean? I know that. Of course I do.
I don't think you know how serious. For me, I mean. I have nothing else in life, you see. Nothing at all. I don't see any future. or anything.
Les was here. Said you'd find him down the pub. I think he needs your moral support.
Oh?
I don't know what's given you so much influence over him in such a short time. Reg Brooks could never have got him to stand against Dad. Was you, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's my advice. I gave it, that's all.
The end justifies the means. Is that what you told him?
I told him you couldn't let personal relationships destroy something you believe in.
Les doesn't believe in anything to that extent. He just feels the need to make an effort because he's Jim Turner's lad. He's not dedicated to anything much. He's the kind that gets used by people who are.
We're off to the pub, then.
Oh, your young daughter phoned you, by the way.
Betty?
She was calling from a phone box. I asked her if she wanted to leave a message, but she said, just give him my love. You find politics a good substitute for personal relationships, do you?
Not in the way that the teaching profession seems to work for you.
What makes you think that it does?
An attractive woman like you, unmarried. I'm not bullying up marriage, but you must admit it's unusual.
It's got nothing to do with my profession. Offends your male ego, does it?
One failed marriage hasn't put me against the institution.
Or politics?
Not politics. A bird needs a nest till it's ready to fly. Politics don't put me against nature. The reverse, if anything.
Oh, if you want to use the phone to call your daughter, by the way.
It upsets my wife. That's why Betty rang me from a call box. She does from time to time. Usually when her mother's been trying to turn her against me.
Hurts, does it?
Aye, it hurts.
You'll understand how Dad feels about Les, then.
I understand how anyone feels about anyone who comes between them and someone they love. I'm not completely insensitive, you know. I'll, be moving tomorrow, by the way.
Oh. Well, it's probably for the best.
Aye. I am sure it is.
They'd have had their way in the end, you know that.
There's more to fighting than winning, despite all the sense of the country. There's a thing called self-respect.
There was the other job. The chance for us to work together. For me to come back home.
Lost your taste for the rat race? Have you, Ross? Well, there's some bigger rats up here than down there, as Max will find to his cost. I kept a lot of that side of things off his back whilst I was in charge. Things that I've protected him from.
Don't you think that might be why he's desperate to have a go?
Desperate?
Before he's too old to find out whether he can do it.
Max doubts himself? Well, I've seen no sign of it. I'm damned if I have.
Not showing it might be part of it, don't you think? Like it is with me.
With you?
You're a strong character, Dad. You've been a bit hard to live up to. I'm not as tough as I usually try to make people think I am. Somewhere inside me, there's a small boy watching his parents drive off down the road, desperate to follow, wanting to shout, "Take me home."
Strong character, Emma. Lappin, you were right about Max. He cared enough to come and tell me, I suppose. He did your job.
I stood back because he asked me to. It seemed the fair thing to do.
You were very strong on fairness, aren't you? Strong and weak. I should have been down there doing Bill Summers' job. But I didn't want to leave the valley, so I kept this place going and growing. A feather in his cap. I made Bill Summers. You should have spit on him, Ross.
You're not going to take this other job on, are you?
I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm at a crossroads. God, my time of life. God, will it never end. I know what I will do if we keep on drinking this stuff while we're talking. Used to make me laugh. Nowadays it just makes me vicious. You better get to bed, Ross. You remember what I used to say to you when you used to drop some sodding awful problem on me? Off your shoulders and onto mine. Leave it with me.
I wanted to help you.
How? There was only ever one that could help me. She's gone off down the road. There's a little lad inside me shouting too, you know.
Your mother said you'd just gone to bed. How are you feeling?
A bit fed up, actually.
It'll pass.
I don't want it to pass, not what you mean.
Some things have to pass. Life's tough. Getting through it can be a tough business. It can hurt.
You don't understand, do you?
We'll talk about it again.
I'm on the agenda, am I?
It's been a hard day. You need sleep. Get to bed. I'll leave you to get to bed.